You guys want to hear my legit intro? We'll try to do this. Maybe I can do it this way. Hello everyone and welcome to the Doom Room. I'm your host Bobby and we are hanging with the music community live. What do we do here? We bring songs into the room to either shoot for a 10 out of 10 score or live in infinite YouTube doom with a lower score. If you're watching and wish to defend the band's honor, you can do so by posting your score and opinions in the comments section and the artist will know you went to bat for them, or you can choose to cut them where it hurts. These scores mean absolutely nothing in the real world and you should know we are simply goofing around and having fun on the internet. That being said, welcome to the Doom Room, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Bobby, and this is the Monuments and Ruin music community, and we're chatting live. The criteria are as follows. You can grade on production, vocal style, music style, rhythm section, creativity level, wow factor, musical arc, big riff, tell a friend, special point, and then your total score can be either a 10 out of 10 or all the way down to a total 0. Wah, wah, wah. And guess what? It doesn't matter, but you got to live with it because we're having fun here and that's what it's all about. So, first up is cult US stoner rock band Hermano with John Garcia to release their new record When the Moon Was High on Ripple Music. Stream the new track Breathe Now. This is coming out in October. Let's have a quick look at what this band looks like. Look at those guys. As sexy as it possibly gets. The track that we are going to listen to is going to be called Breathe, as was mentioned. So let's see what this sounds like.
I stumbled up from
There you go. Hermano, When the Moon Was High, coming out in October. Let's see, what did that say? Releasing October 4th, 2024 on Ripple Music. Once again, that track was called Breathe, Hermano featuring John Garcia. So, here's my trip on that. Oh, wait, sorry, I need to undo the chat. The chat. Welcome to the chat, people. Welcome to the chat. Okay, this is pretty much what it's all about when it comes to desert rock, stoner rock, whatever you want to call it. No problems there whatsoever. So I'm going to say that on that one, I gave it a full point on production all the way. Nothing wrong with that in my book. On vocal style, John is one of the masters of that style. Since the early 90s, I've been listening to that particular voice, and I'm a huge fan. So that's going to lean my my vote definitely to a full point. But I gave him full point on vocal style. Music style, I loved it. It's just straight up desert rock, stoner rock, whatever you want to call it. Straight rock and roll, in my opinion, just a little bit gnarlier. So they got a full point on that. I gave him a half a point on the rhythm section. I liked it when it broke down to the solo. There was actually another riff that happened in there, something that we hadn't heard, and that actually gave him a half a point for me. I thought it was super cool. Creativity level, I actually gave him a half a point on that very same part, so I thought that was super cool. The wow factor, I just gave him the wow factor because I'm excited to hear more Hermano. Great band from the start, so they got a half a point almost automatically from that. Musical arc, I was never bored. I almost feel like the shortness of that song really lend to the positivity of it. So if it would have drawn out any longer, it probably would have gotten to a point where you're like, hey, let's wrap it up, you know, but just enough, 3.5 minutes, super tight, super strong. And then the big riff, I feel like the main riff was actually the big riff. It wasn't like a super gnarly blaster riff, but right off of the bat, I was like, you know, I can't deny that I am loving this riff. So I gave him a half a point on the big riff. And then Tell a Friend, I gave him a full point on that because I would tell everybody, just like I'm telling right now, I would tell everybody, you got to check out the new Hermano album. It's called When the Moon Was High, and it's coming out October 4th on Ripple Music. So that's my criteria, and I'm going to total that up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a 7 out of 10 right off the bat. 7 out of 10 on the Hermano. Once again, that track was called Breathe, coming out on the album When the Moon Was High. So that's it. Up next, Swedish stoner rockers Mammoth Volume release WoW-inspired new video, The Battle of Lightwedge, new album out August 23rd on Blues Funeral Records. Let's have a quick look at this band pic. There you go, a little alien UFO something reaching out from the distance. Little ooga booga there. Check out this album art. This is Mammoth Volume, Raised Up by Witches is the name of the album, and it is going to be releasing on, what date? August 23rd, I believe I already said that. So let's get into this track now. There you go. Mammoth Volume. That track was called Battle of Lightwedge. Super killer. Really, really enjoyed it all around. The intro, at first I was like, okay, maybe I just chose one. I'm not really not as into this as possible, but man, once it kicked in, wow, the satisfaction was absolutely there. That is coming up on their album Raised Up by Witches, coming out August 23rd on Blues Funeral Records. Once again, that is Battle of Lightwedge by the band Mammoth Volume. Okay, so here's what I got. Production, I gave him a full point. Production sounded great. And again, in the beginning, I was like, uh-oh, little falter on this, but man, it kicked in. That was killer. Vocal style, I liked the way he was delivering. Really, really cool. Musical style is just great jams. I like that the beginning caught me off guard, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, but it got that little wow factor in there. Did not give him anything on the rhythm section point. Not that it wasn't good, but it was just like they were together from beginning to end. There was nothing that really any divergence there, so I skipped the rhythm section point. Creativity level, though, I still gave them a full point on that because I was just entertained. I love the way that they did the fake out in the beginning where it felt like it was dragging a little bit, and then they come in with that heavy Sabbathy kind of tone. And there was another thing that happened later on that was super cool, so I was fully on board with that. The wow factor, they got me with not only the Sabbathy riff when it kicked in, but the change-up riff was super cool, nice and heavy. Musical arc, I gave them the half a point. I was fully engaged the whole time, but I didn't give them the full point because I felt like the intro, for me, went a little bit too long. So there for a second, I was like, well, should I give them the full point? And I decided I'll just give them a half, and I felt like that was fair. Big riff. The entire thing was a big riff. I felt like it was super groovy. I could have chose the last riff or the main riff as the big riff. So I gave him a half a point on that. Tell a friend, full point. I could tell all of my friends about this and I would be totally happy with that. No special points. So that gives them a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 6.5 out of 10 on the Doom Room chart countdown. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And if you feel so inclined to get in here and defend your favorite band's honor, which you should, be sure to put your points in the comments and let us know, because you should be playing along at home, and that way when the band comes on here and they're ready to duke it out with somebody, they know you got your back and up against the wall. It's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. So there you go. Okay, up next. Coming up next, we have Hamilton, Ontario-based punishing death doom outfit Absorb will release their Smog EP on July 26th via High Pathral Records. We are going to get into the track Smog, which is the title track on this album. Let's have a quick look at this band. Look at those guys. What a groovy and happy bunch of kids that they are. And then once again, let's check out this album art here. Smog by Absorb. That is the title track off of this album, and it is now playing. This one's a little bit longer, so hang in there.
Between
absolute devastation. That was awesome. I absolutely loved that, man. That was so good. And I think that was the first actual like Doom song that we've had in the Doom Room. Everybody kept asking me after the first episode, they were like, where's the Doom tracks? It's like, it's not about a genre. It's about the fact that we're bringing you into the room to either be doomed to the internet comment section or to reign supreme, victorious, as you shall see. Which in this case, I feel like they absolutely did. That was, once again, Absorb. The name of that track was Smog. That's also the name of the album. And that's already out, actually, July 26th on Hypaethral Records. Okay, so here's my scorecard, which is damn near perfect. Production, they got a full point. Vocal style, full point. I know some in the comments there was some of the, I don't like the vocal or what's going on here. Totally understandable. It's not for everybody. When you're asking me, in that style of music, man, I'll take that vocal all day long, which is exactly what I said. Music style, slow, heavy. It's really there's a weird thing that you've got to shuffle when you're playing this kind of music, because you can go overboard and lose a lot of people, and I feel like they were right there at that super gnarly, hitting it right on the line, super creative in a way of just destruction. So full point there. Rhythm section, I love the way that they broke it all apart. And there was one part in there early in about the 3 or 4 minute section. It's totally cool. I gave them the full point on the rhythm section for that because I felt like they really pulled it together and a lot of action happening there. Creativity level, I gave them a half a point because I felt like their style was just the right thing. I didn't give them the full point only because it's not like they pushed boundaries, but they totally captivated that type of sound. So I gave them a half a point on that. The wow factor, I immediately was just like, oh man, am I giving them the full point or not? So I gave them a half a point because I was waiting on something that I didn't expect to really just come out of there and knock me down, which didn't happen, but I was immediately impressed with the overall force of the song. So they got the half point on the wow factor. Musical arc, for an 8-minute song, I was never bored. I was ready to just dig in. I was leaning in. The volume was loud. I was totally into it. So they got a full point on the musical arc. Full point on the big riff. There was it's hard to explain, but one part where they kind of slid into the riff or slid into the note. I felt like that was a really, really cool transition, and I gave them not only the big riff because of the power, but that one gave them another half a point on the big riff. So they got the full point on big riff. Tell a friend. I would tell all of my friends that are into aggressive, heavy music like this, I'd be like, you got to hear Absorb. Their new album is called Smog, and it's out July 26th now on Hypaethral Records. So there you go. That gives them a total of 8 on my scorecard. The highest score of the night, might I add. I could probably give them a half a point on the special point, but I just didn't mark it down, and I'm not going to change my score after the fact just because I'm getting excited. But there you go, people. That is me right there. 8 points on the Absorb Smog. Great stuff there. And then that's it. So thank you for tuning into the Doom Room. Don't forget, if you want to defend your band's honor or spout your opinions in the comments section, do so. You can also look in the comments section and find where to find all of these artists, more info on them. Be sure to support these labels, support these bands, and go out and let them know that you heard about it here on the Doom Room, presented by Monuments in Ruin. Again, this is the Monuments in Ruin community that we're hanging out with here in the chat. We're going to chat a little bit more off screen, but I wanted to say thank you for being here and watching this far, and I will talk to you again in the next episode of the Doom Room.